Hunger, fury, hunger, agony, hunger, violence. A super predator, unstoppable, adorned in 1,000 scars, each of which a battle won, each of which a life ended. This is Deviljho, and he is hungry.
Deviljho, Deviljho, Deviljho. Better the Deviljho you know. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As today we talk, let's be honest, the most iconic brute wyvern to ever brute wyvern. The eater of worlds, the devourer of ecosystems, and the pioneer of the pickle. He really is, well, literally a big deal. But since his introduction, he has been in every single Monster Hunter game. Except now with Rise and Sunbreak, where it seems very clear that he is nowhere near. Unless we get a one weird turn on a later title update, but I doubt it. We are going to have our first post-Deviljho existing Monster Hunter game sans Deviljho. And I guess question number one that I have to ask with that knowledge is, does that bother you? Let's be honest, he is a big fan favorite. We love Deviljho and his shenanigans.
Do not stop till nightfall.
What about breakfast?
You've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? Don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip. What about elevensies? Luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper. He knows about them, doesn't he?
I wouldn't count on it.
And I still remember back in, of course, Base World, getting that initial trailer for what was going to be the first title update, seeing that paw go down and be like, oh, it's Deviljho! And knowing more than anything that all of the Fifth Fleet Hunters, the quite literally millions of Monster Hunter players that have never seen anything before World, that started with World, that have no idea what was coming to them, and just getting to have this just you wait.
Oh, what? That's so cool. What's happening? This is so cool. What's going on? Yeah.
It was electric, but of course he's had his time to shine in World and Iceborne, and I honestly don't think him taking a bench for Rise and Sunbreak is that bad of an idea, as I could understand why a certain sect of people might be, shall we say, sick of Deviljho. I'm whispering because Deviljho is Lauren's favorite monster, and I don't want her to hear me. Okay, so keep this on the down low. But I can understand why certain people may be, Deviljho, yeah, okay, we get it, arriving, slamming about the place, being crazy. But the thing is, we got Basil, again, instantly, despite his World and Iceborne-ness, and surely him being fresher and newer, already getting a second go is arguably worse, for want of a better word, than Deviljho having once more another go in the spotlight. But maybe that is it. Maybe he is too famous for his own good, and that he is definitely a spotlight monster. But as I mentioned at the start, brute wyvern, right? And there is 10 brute wyverns, not including variations, of course, in the mainline series. Barroth, Brachydios, Deviljho, Duramboros, Uragan, Glavenus, and Anjanath, Bambaro, and Radabon. And all of them, except Duramboros, have been in the 5th gen, so 9 out of 10, and honestly, Duramboros one day. I've got good feelings about Monster Hunter 6, no reason to have them, but I've got good feelings. We can hope, right? But when we look at Rise and Sunbreak, there's only 2, Barroth and Anjanath. Barroth is, let's be honest, he's fun, the little anteater with his big steam train charge, okay, but he's a low-tier monster, and he's not that impactful, and I would argue forgettable. And then Anjanath is awesome, right? He's like the second sub-flagship of World, was in the original trailer, very dinosaur-y monster, and he honestly, I think, is working his way to be quite iconic. But again, he's not the craziest in the world, though definitely getting a bump of strength in Rise and Sunbreak, but it kind of leaves the game with no real sort of end-game threatening brute wyverns. And then the brute wyvern representation is kind of low. Now, I say that, obviously, you know, the insects and the snake wyverns, they're not even there, and I can understand, you know, something like Lagerala being over in the corner like,
Seriously?
but the thing is, Brute Wyvern, after probably flying an Elder Dragon, maybe tied with Leviathan, is the third biggest deal staple main category of monster that makes up the bulk of, well, Monster Hunter. Everything else, I'd say, is a fringe supporting classification that's no, you know, worse for it, but you know what I mean. You can make a lot of brutes. They're a good staple. They're a good meat in your monster sandwich, for want of a better phrasing. So when I look at Rise and Sunbreak, I totally want more brute wyverns. But the question is, would I want Bracky? I mean, of course I want Bracky, Daddy. But at the same time, he is a flagship. He, along with Deviljho and Glavenus, are the three big, famous, big deal brute wyverns. So they kind of do take spotlight, and all three were in World and Iceborne. We don't really care about Uragan, probably not Radoban. Bambaro is everywhere, but I think nobody is very sad that he is also taking a break. So the question to me becomes, basically, you invent a new brute wyvern, or you put Deviljho in to represent them in an endgame way that is satisfying to everyone, both in the monster itself and the challenge and fight and hunt that he provides. So then again we go back to, has there been enough Deviljho for now? Is this little breather from him a good thing? And I do think so. I think him skipping Rise and Sunbreak, coming back in Monster Hunter 6, which, let's be honest, he probably will, and we get to experience him in a new gen form once again, is likely the way to go. I don't think he really needed to be in Rise and Sunbreak, but at the same time, I do think there should have been a few more brute wyverns. Well, not really should. The roster of Sunbreak is fucking fantastic. There is a great spread, variety, challenge, some really cool faces coming back like Seregios, and generally speaking, I really have very little complaints when it comes to the roster. I really think it's one of the best Master G rank rosters, honestly, ever. But that one extra endgame brute wyvern really would have been that beautiful cherry on top for me, and Deviljho is obviously a lot easier to implement than a completely brand new brute wyvern. But damn, would I love a new Elder Dragon level brute wyvern. And indeed, I would literally love an Elder Dragon brute wyvern. You can use the brute wyvern skeleton, that classic T-Rex shape, and obviously classify it as an Elder Dragon because it's powerful enough, like how Dalmadur is obviously a snake wyvern but still an Elder Dragon, or Amatsu is obviously a Leviathan but an Elder Dragon, and that would be so awesome. And honestly, if we get to Title Update 3, if we get to Title Update 4, if we get 4 or maybe 5, however far it ends up going, having the finale of, well, Sunbreak, the Fatalis update equivalent, being like a ultra powerful, nearly Black Dragon level brute wyvern, almost ridiculous dinosaur apocalypse type situation, I think that would be kinda awesome. Basically though, I just kinda wanna share the notion that, hey, the brute wyverns are lacking, and notably Deviljho has finally broken his streak of being in every Monster Hunter game. He's massively popular, but do you guys agree that I think a breather from him is nice, as it will help him be even more impactful once again in Monster Hunter 6? Or would you rather still just see him constantly, at least for now? And of course, the sidetrack of new brute wyvern question mark? In any case, let me know what your thoughts are on Mr. Deviljho. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.